After weeks of tense negotiations, global leaders in Baku, Azerbaijan, have reached a historic, yet controversial climate agreement. Wealthy nations have pledged $300 billion annually by 2035 to help developing countries combat the escalating impacts of the climate crisis. But is it enough? The deal aims to provide financial support for vulnerable, poorer nations facing increasingly catastrophic climate impacts. The $300 billion commitment will include both public and private funding, focusing on two critical areas: helping countries cope with extreme weather events like hurricanes and droughts, supporting the transition to clean energy in developing economies. Despite the agreement, tensions ran high throughout the summit. Groups representing small island nations and the world's least developed countries staged walkouts, criticizing the pledged amount as woefully insufficient. For years, these nations have called for $1.3 trillion annually, more than 4 times what was agreed upon. We are leaving with a small portion of the funding climate-vulnerable countries urgently need. It isn't nearly enough, but it's a start. The negotiations were marred by intense political disputes and accusations of fossil fuel interference. Delegates openly criticized the influence of fossil fuel interests, accusing them of blocking progress and undermining global climate goals. Clip Tina Stege's statement, voiceover. Fossil fuel interests have been determined to block progress and undermine the multilateral goals we've worked to build. While the $300 billion pledge is a step forward, it highlights the significant gap between what's been promised and what's needed. Developing nations, which have contributed the least to climate change, continue to bear the brunt of its impacts. Will this funding be enough to make a real difference, or will wealthier nations need to step up further to address the growing crisis? Only time will tell. This agreement is a start, but it's clear the world has a long way to go. What do you think about the $300 billion pledge? Is it a meaningful step forward, or is it far too little, too late? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories on global efforts to combat the climate crisis.